Welcome to Superdude, the channel of Superdude Dev. We are checking out the Dutch Grand Prix. So the Dutch Grand Prix just started. Verstappen is in the lead. It was a very good start. No one crashed. Ricardo has got some issue with his car. It seems he's spilling oil and there's some smoke. Verstappen seems to be pulling away in the lead. He actually leading Lewis Hamilton. It seems once again Lewis Hamilton cannot keep up with Verstappen when it comes down to absolute performance. We have to wait and see. This race is still very new when it comes to when it started. It just started, so I have to be very careful what I say, but I think as long as Verstappen builds up a massive lead, which I think that's exactly his game plan. Damn, they actually did touch each other. Showing some collisions. You can see that this track is very tight, dude. It's a very scary track in my opinion. Very high speed track. Like you can actually see the speed sense or at least get a sense of what the speed is. What they're doing. Yeah, so the McLaren of Ricardo seems like he might have a problem. Fastest lap for Verstappen, 1 minute 14. Fastest lap for Verstappen, 1 minute 14.813. He's already 2 seconds ahead of Hamilton. He's already 2 seconds ahead of Hamilton and Mercedes. The only question now is how much of a lead can he build before the pit stop situation, because remember the whole issue is now strategy. We all knew that as soon as Verstappen qualified first and Mercedes second and third, we all knew that Verstappen has to be able to also worry about their strategy, and I hope that the team of Red Bull actually has a working strategy that can actually, let's say a strong team that can actually, honestly think about the strategy as it happens and see what Mercedes is doing and make the right calls. That's the main thing. If they cannot make the right decisions at the right time in the race, dynamically on the fly, then they're going to lose. That's just the way that it's going to be. So now Alpine is racing each other. So Alonso is racing Ocon. Sorry, Ocon is racing Alonso. Yeah, so Hamilton is now saying that he won't be able to keep that pace, which if you know Mercedes, they like to cap, which means that they like to pretend that they like to say things that seems like they can't do something, but it's obviously not a trustworthy gauge to know if he's actually having tire issues. The fact of the matter is he is unable to keep up. So Fernando passed Ocon. See, this is where Ocon has to realize, ultimately, when it comes to racing, Fernando Alonso thinks about himself, which I agree. If you're a race car driver, then think about your race, right? Because that is why you've become a race car driver. Actually, a good race, dude. Like, okay, I will say now that Hamilton is not going to be very good in this race. And you know why? Because this race is very demanding on your neck. The G-forces and the cornering and the speed of the corners and the way that this track has got these like inclined turns, it actually affects people's necks. So what I think is going to happen with Hamilton is he is going to start to get fatigued, because unfortunately he's one of the older drivers and he won't do that well. I can guarantee you, when it comes to long-term endurance in this specific track, Hamilton will not be able to compete with Verstappen. This is the only reason why I say this is because Hamilton is older than Verstappen. Verstappen is still young and fresh, and there's no need for Verstappen not to out. Oh my goodness. Sergio Perez had a massive lockup. Why did he have a lockup? Just if you know you want to take it, then take it. If you don't want to take it, don't take it, dude. What position is Sergio Perez in? So Sergio Perez is in... Come on, show me what his position is. Sergio Perez is in 18th position. He had to start from the pit lane because they did some overnight setup changes on his car. So they had to start him from the pit lane. If you don't know this, Kimi Räikkönen is retiring. He hasn't retired this race, but he's not racing because of his COVID. He got COVID, and Kubica is taking his place. Kubica is in 16th position. Just play the long game, and that's Valtteri. I'm kind of surprised. Why is Mercedes so slow on this track? Their qualifying was almost equal to Red Bull. Now they can't keep up with Red Bull. I'm telling you, man, Mercedes is a funny, like they've got some funny things going on in that car. Some funny settings and some funny mechanics. Look here. Verstappen knows he needs to build a gap these first couple of laps before they pit. He knows he needs to build a gap. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. So far, I cannot see Verstappen losing. Of course, anything can happen in Formula 1. In Formula 1, if you actually win a race legitimately, you know you won that race. And what I mean with that is that even if you have the fastest car on the grid, ultimately, you know, anything can happen. You can lose, your tire puncture. You can lose your tires, your wheel. You know, you can have mechanical failure on your car. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Someone can crash into you. Winning a race in Formula 1 is literally like you deserve it. No matter what you are. Even if I dislike Hamilton, the problem with Hamilton is that as soon as he has legitimate pressure, legitimate challenge, he does things. He does, like, he would go to the extent of actually discrediting his own skill by crashing them off the road, and that is not how you race legitimately. That is the only reason why I never like Hamilton's racing this year specifically, because he clearly can't. He's so intimidated by Verstappen. Verstappen is legitimate, you know, new generation driver. Like he's a new generation, a new era of Formula 1, and for Hamilton to feel helpless against Verstappen makes him feel like he needs to do the worst of the worst, which is crash Verstappen off the road, get the team to tell Bottas to crash people off the road. Like, it's just lots of things that I just dislike about the fact of how desperate Hamilton is to do all the scummy things to stay in front. Hamilton fastest lap 1 minute 14.7. So he's getting a fastest lap because he's not in dirty air. Verstappen is 2.6 seconds ahead. I'm just wondering, I am just wondering if my question is, now that they say Hamilton is picking up the pace and that Hamilton is going to do a two-stop, he's changing his strategy. to try and do the undercut. If you don't know what that is, that's a strategy that the teams use to try and beat people in front of them. So in this case, Lewis Hamilton is behind Max Verstappen, can't keep up with Max Verstappen. He's almost 3 seconds behind, dropping, slowly but surely dropping. Now his team is asking him to just keep in range, and then they will actually do the pit stop 7 laps earlier. Which I think what it could be is that they are trying to do the undercut, trying to get ahead of him, so that when eventually when Verstappen responds and he goes into the pit, there is a very good chance. So who's this? So Vettel just went into the pits for tire change, which is so early. Why are they already pitting? It's actually lap 11, right? Sorry, lap 13. That's strange. They're already pitting so early. I just wonder. So George Russell and Lance Stroll are fighting each other. George Russell 11th, Lance Stroll in 12th. Lance Stroll in the other Aston Martin. Actually, Ocon can't keep up with Alonso, so it seems like Ocon has stopped trying to, let's say, challenge Alonso for 7th place. You've got Carlos Sainz in 6th, Charles Leclerc in 5th, so they're both Ferraris in 5th and 6th. Gasly, oh my goodness, Toro Rosso. I'm telling you, Gasly needs to get into the Red Bull ASAP. I just don't understand why he did so poorly against Verstappen last time he was in Red Bull. So Gasly is behind Bottas, and then Hamilton. Hamilton is 2.8, almost 3 seconds behind Verstappen. Verstappen is not staying ahead of, Verstappen is not building a lead now. He built his lead in the first 10 laps, and now he can't get away from Hamilton. So it's very clear that Hamilton is going to try probably and pit early. The question would be would their undercut strategy work? Because I'm just wondering, is Verstappen really that slow? Is Verstappen really that slow that he has to pit? Bottas is... How many seconds is Bottas behind? 9 seconds behind. Damn. Bottas is really suffering, huh? I'm telling you, Hamilton is using his kinetic energy, he's charging his battery power, he's charging every single aspect of his car, and you know what? I don't think he's going to be able to keep up that pace much longer. I think after about 3 laps, we will see Hamilton losing, at least. Oh yeah, see there, he just lost 0.02 of a second. What's it? 0.2 of a second. That's what they say. So he just lost 0.2 of a second. He lost 0.3 of a second. It's seesawing between 0.3 and 2.2, but he's now more than 3 seconds behind Verstappen. So Verstappen is building a lead. I'm just wondering if Hamilton is really going to pit early, man. Is Hamilton really going to pit early? Because they always like to cap, man. They always like to say, our tires don't feel so well, and then they hold out for the whole entire race until the end, and they've got a fastest lap. So I would definitely not trust what they're doing. Nicholas Latifi just overtook Nikita Mazepin from the long way around, which is interesting, which means Mazepin is really not that good. Look at, I don't have anything against Mazepin. I agree. If you've never done Formula 1 racing, you've done all the other racing, but never Formula 1, I'm pretty sure that there's a big difference. And they're trying to climatize. You can even see with Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher is also having a very hard time. So ultimately, I think the Haas car is actual garbage. So first of all, I think the Haas car is garbage. Second of all, I just think that they're rookies. Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin both are rookie drivers. And even though it's very easy to dislike Nikita Mazepin, and maybe there's some some politics behind the scenes, saying what type of person he is and so forth. Ultimately, I think if at the end of the year, if he can do some good races, even if it's just beating Mick Schumacher, I'm trying to say Michael, but it's Mick Schumacher, then that is good enough. Just beat your teammate, dude. Mazepin shouldn't even worry about anybody else. Just beat your teammate. If you can beat your teammate, you've done enough, because most of the Formula One fans already know that the Haas team are completely poor. It's just a very bad car at the moment. So out of 72 laps, we did 17 laps. Let's just see. Hamilton is 3.5 seconds. Hamilton tried for 3 laps with all these tools that he have inside his car, all these nifty tricks that he can pull off inside of his car. He tried to keep up with Max Verstappen. He couldn't. So the difference here between Max Verstappen and Hamilton is Hamilton can't consistently be fast. Max Verstappen is consistently fast. That is the difference here. If you are consistently faster than your opponent, then ultimately you have won. The only issue is I don't know what the strategy is going to do, because Mercedes is very good at strategy, dude. Why did it take Sergio Perez so long to pass Nikita Mazepin? That's very sad, to be honest. So sad, man. Like, nothing wrong with Nikita Mazepin, but his car is very bad compared to the Red Bull. So I don't know why Sergio Perez is having such a hard time trying to pass Nikita Mazepin. I don't know. I think what happened with Sergio Perez is that as soon as he got the contract for next year, then he stopped racing, which is really sad, to be honest. I think the biggest issue is people are so shocked at how good Max Verstappen is. They're so shocked that when they drive the car, they keep doubting it. They keep thinking that there's something wrong. There's something that the team is doing, but I honestly believe Max Verstappen. I have watched the history of Max Verstappen, especially when he was in Toro Rosso, before he was upgraded to the main works team, which is the main Red Bull team. The guy was literally destroying, like, he was so fast in the Toro Rosso, so good in the Toro Rosso, that when his manager told him that he needed to slow down, he would say, no, I won't slow down for my teammate. Why should I? I'm putting in all the work. Like, you could see when he's like racing someone, and he's racing like, I can remember the situation where he was racing against Kimi Räikkönen, and he was enjoying himself. Like, Max Verstappen was enjoying himself against Räikkönen, which Räikkönen at that time had a lot of experience, and we're talking like 3 or 4 years ago. So Räikkönen back then was still decent enough to be, a good benchmark. Now, of course, Räikkönen is not even taking Formula One that seriously anymore. Anyway, so. Valtteri cannot do anything, dude. Valtteri is 10 seconds behind, dude. 10 seconds behind. The only reason why I believe Hamilton is keeping up is because of his kinetic energy. What do they call it? It's like this battery, this electric motor, this extra electric motor that gives you extra horsepower, but you have to charge it from time to time. So you can use it, and then after a couple of laps you have to wait until it charges up again. So what Hamilton is doing is he's absolutely using the maximum of that battery energy just to stay close to Verstappen. Not close as in being behind Verstappen. He is literally dropping further behind, but he's 3.6 seconds behind Verstappen. I think the reason why Verstappen hasn't completely lost Hamilton is because Hamilton is just trying his best to manage his kinetic energy, his electric motor, to try and get that extra bit of energy to just stay in front. Okay, what is going on here? Is this Perez? Yeah, it's Perez. Did Perez just pass Latifi? I think Perez just passed Latifi. Oh no, he is still trying to pass Latifi. He is trying to pass Latifi. Oh, okay, he did. Okay, good. Bottas now 7 seconds. Bottas is now 7 seconds. Actually, I think he went into the pit. So he went into the pits. My footage is a little bit slower than this live feed that's on my channel. So do understand the feed you're seeing on my channel is slower. It's 3.7. Bottas is so interesting because on my screen Bottas is 6 seconds behind. Bottas is 6 seconds behind. His tire age on Hamilton is 23 laps. Tire age on Verstappen is 23 laps now as well. So Lewis Hamilton did pit first. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Lewis Hamilton pitted first. Oh man, the problem is that Max Verstappen should have pitted, dude. The problem is Max Verstappen should have pitted. Oh man, now I understand. Max Verstappen should have pitted almost immediately. This is the only thing that Hamilton can do, is rely on his team to give him a strategy that can beat and get in front of Max Verstappen. And never discredit how good Mercedes strategist and strategy is, dude. I don't know, man. I feel like I just don't know, like. Oh, wait. What? Verstappen did pit as well. But how would... Oh... I get it. I get it. So he's behind Valtteri Bottas, but in front of Lewis Hamilton. Dude, like... The footage I'm watching is a little bit slower than the live timing of Formula 1, so it's a little bit confusing. So Verstappen is 10 seconds behind Bottas. How did Bottas end up ahead of Hamilton? Please don't tell me that this is all done on purpose so Bottas could keep Verstappen behind him. All I'm saying is if Bottas damages Verstappen's car, they should race ban him. For one race they have to ban him. I'm serious. If Bottas needs to damage Verstappen's car so Hamilton can win, they have to ban him for one race. And every time he does it, he gets another ban from a race, and then third ban he gets banned from actual racing. That's what I'm saying. One minute 13 seconds is Lewis Hamilton. 1 minute 13 point what? I need to know exactly. 1 minute 13 point. I'm thinking that Verstappen is going to pass Bottas. I'm telling you, man, if Bottas crashes out Verstappen, they need to race ban him. They have to do it, man, because this is like I do not. It doesn't make sense to me that Hamilton. It doesn't make sense to me that Hamilton is behind Bottas. That makes no sense to me. It will only make sense if the team wanted Bottas to be in front of Hamilton, because they want Bottas to do something to Verstappen to help Hamilton, because Hamilton is the one leading the championship, not Bottas. So like, I don't know, man. I just feel like that is done on purpose. I feel like there is something suspect with Bottas being in front of Verstappen. Like, really, like, I'm really concerned for Verstappen, dude. So on the live data, it says that Max Verstappen is 4 seconds. On my feed, it says that Verstappen is about 7 seconds. So the data's a little bit ahead, but at least I can see what is happening. I knew they must have put it when they showed like 20 seconds or 15 seconds. I knew they must have put it, but I just wasn't sure. So now it's 6 seconds. So Verstappen, it says that he's got 3 laps, which I don't think that's correct. Let's see. 3 seconds. Okay, actually okay. Also, the one thing you have to realize is when Verstappen gets closer to the back of Bottas, they call it turbulent air. He's getting turbulent air from the wind that moves over the airflow that moves over Bottas's car, and then causes issues for his own car's wing downforce. So the closer Verstappen gets to Bottas, the worse his traction will be on the road, because of his they call it dirty air. That's another they call it turbulent air and dirty air. If a car behind is too close to the car in front of them, their aerodynamics don't seem to work as well as it should. So that's the only reason why Verstappen getting closer to Bottas is maybe not the best thing. However, he needs to do something anyways, because he seems to be much faster. He's 1 second. Hamilton is 1 second behind Verstappen. Just wondering, so this, okay, now he's 1 second. So, oh sorry, Hamilton is 1 second. Yeah, so they're basically keeping Bottas out. Bottas has not pitted. His tires are 29 laps old. He has not pitted. I'm just wondering, the problem is, the closer that Hamilton gets to Verstappen, you just know that things are not gonna be so nice. Hamilton is getting so close to Verstappen now, dude. Damn, that's pretty scary, I'm not gonna lie. Watching Hamilton getting so close to Verstappen is pretty scary because Hamilton is basically Hamilton is capitalizing on the fact that Bottas is keeping Verstappen behind him. Yeah, exactly. So Lewis Hamilton also has to deal with the dirty air, luckily. So Valtteri Bottas is keeping Verstappen behind him because of the dirty air. At the same point, dude, I'm telling you now, if Bottas takes out Verstappen, they need to race ban him. For the next race, they have to ban him. They have to disqualify him from this race and then race ban him for the next race. And if they don't disqualify him from this race, they have to at least give him a 5 grid place penalty. If they do not DNF him, you know, if they don't disqualify him on this in this race after taking out Verstappen, then they have to give him at least 5 place grid penalty, at least minimum. But they have to race ban him for the next race because he cannot get away with crashing into people, man. He cannot keep getting away with it. Like, once fine, but twice you're taking out the championship contender to Lewis Hamilton. That is just very suspect, and they shouldn't even allow it. I'm a little bit concerned because I can see that Max Verstappen is about to pass Valtteri Bottas according to the live timing. So I'm gonna catch up to it eventually with my video feed. And Alonso into the pits. And Alonso into the pits, fastest lap. So Hamilton has the fastest lap, but Hamilton is slowing down, which, like, that just makes me so worried, dude. Max Verstappen seems so close, man. Please don't take out Max Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas. I do know that you're getting contracted by Mercedes, but don't do that, dude. Let Lewis Hamilton do it, because at least then he can suffer the consequences of doing the dirty job that they're telling you to do. Just wondering what's going to happen. Oh, Max Verstappen passed Valtteri Bottas. Whoa, okay. Okay. I haven't seen that yet, but I will very soon see it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if let's see how Verstappen passed Valtteri Bottas. Obviously, Valtteri Bottas is easily going to allow Lewis Hamilton to pass him, which makes sense because they are teammates. But still, okay. Yeah, so that is why, because Max Verstappen knew he had to pass Valtteri Bottas, and luckily Valtteri Bottas did not crash Verstappen out, which is really good. I just to see how he did it. I want to see how he passed Valtteri Bottas. This is quite strange. So Verstappen can push and stay so close to the guy in front of him, but Lewis Hamilton can't do that? Why? Look here, Lewis Hamilton can't. When it comes to raw power, raw performance, when it comes to being young and fresh, Lewis Hamilton can't compete with Verstappen. He cannot. I'm sorry, man. Especially on this track, because this track will literally. So he passed him on the main straight. He passed him on the main straight. He definitely allowed Lewis Hamilton to go through, huh? He actually did it immediately. I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice it on the live data. He actually let Lewis Hamilton pass immediately. Like the first corner that Verstappen was ahead, immediately that first corner, Valtteri Bottas said, "Okay, fine, Lewis, come, just pass me, bro." Yeah, so basically, Valtteri Bottas was used to keep Verstappen behind. Now Valtteri Bottas will no longer be able to be in that position again. Valtteri Bottas will no longer compete with the front runners. So basically, now it's between Red Bull, Max Verstappen, Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton to see which strategy is going to work and which driver is going to win. I still believe that strategy is going to play in the favor of Hamilton, because I do think Lewis Hamilton's team, Mercedes, is so good with strategy. So I think with strategy, speaking about strategy, Lewis Hamilton, I think, might actually have some jokers in the pocket, some trickiness that he can still pull off. But Bottas can no longer be of any use to Hamilton. Bottas can no longer keep Verstappen behind and slow him down so Lewis can keep up. And in fact, I would be so surprised if Lewis Hamilton at the end of the first pit stop can easily stay ahead. Like, even if he does somehow slingshot and overtake Verstappen during a pit stop strategy, even then, I would be surprised if he can stay ahead of Verstappen. That is going to come down to whether or not he's going to actually crash Verstappen out of the race again. That is a question mark. So far, it's very close. It's so close. It's so close, so it's very hard to know who is going to win, because first of all, yes, Verstappen leads this race so far, but what you have to understand is that strategy still has a very big part. Mercedes knew they had to keep Verstappen behind Bottas as long as possible to slow him down, so he couldn't get away from Hamilton, so Hamilton could keep up from the pace of what Verstappen has. And ultimately what the case is that you have Hamilton trying to keep up with Max Verstappen. And if Verstappen has clear air, he can keep, like, he can't keep up unless he uses all these electric motors and stuff that he has in his car. And trust me, when it comes to consistently being faster, Max Verstappen will be consistently faster. That's just the way that it is. George Russell is a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Poor guy. Gasly is in 5th, Leclerc is in 4th, Bottas in 3rd. How did Gasly end up in 5th? Now he's in 6th. Did he go into the pit or what? Why would Gasly be behind the Ferrari, bro, if it was in 4th position? So, credit to Lewis Hamilton for not allowing Max Verstappen to get too far away from him. But I think Verstappen proved that you can get close to your to someone in front of you, which makes me wonder. So Verstappen was just planning to make a move. He decided to stay behind Valtteri Bottas until he was ready to actually go for the pass. That is why he lost time, because he wasn't ready yet. Guys, this back and forth. There we go, man. There we go. Take your position back, Gasly. Take your position back. Like Gasly, the fact that Gasly is in 4th place, can you imagine if he wasn't a Red Bull? He could have literally been behind Hamilton, giving Hamilton some something to think about and some stress. Because today both of the Mercedes was giving Verstappen stress, but no one, but no teammate of Verstappen can give Mercedes stress. Like, it's just not cool, man. These people, the teammates of Max Verstappen should just stop worrying about what Max Verstappen is doing. They should worry about what they can do. Do the maximum that you can do in that car. Stop worrying about what Max Verstappen is doing, because ultimately Max Verstappen seems to be too good for most of his teammates. So I think they become so mesmerized by how suspect or how good Max Verstappen is compared to them, that they forget about doing the best that they can possibly do in that car. That's my concern. I'm just wondering what's going to happen. So as long as there's back markers that they have to pass, as long as there are back markers, I think Lewis Hamilton will just fall back slow. Gradually, consistently, Lewis Hamilton will lose time and will lose his distance to Max Verstappen, going further and further behind Max Verstappen. I actually forgot that Bottas is doing one stop. Bottas is doing one stop. I would say if Bottas is 25 seconds behind, then let's see if he is. It's 26. Okay. So technically, Bottas should not affect Verstappen's pit stop. He shouldn't be able, even if he's just on a one stop. I don't think necessarily Verstappen would be in any danger from Verstappen, from Bottas. I mean, Sebastian Vettel did a slide. Pretty scary, man. Pretty scary slide, man. Yeah, so Valtteri Bottas is losing time on the front runners because he was evading Vettel's slide. So Vettel was sliding his car, and then Valtteri Bottas had to go on the outside, off of the track, basically, to just pass Vettel and avoid collision. So it seems that it seems that Alonso is going to try and pass Perez. They are telling Max Verstappen he needs to push as much as he can before they are going to do the pit stops. All that Perez has to do is now just stay behind Bottas and just see if he could stay behind. Keep behind Bottas. Let Bottas pass you, but then just stay with Bottas the whole time. So I believe most of but Perez has to be lapped, right? Mercedes. Who is this? Hamilton. They're putting Hamilton. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so my PC decided to crash for no reason. That is always a nice thing to happen. Yeah, so what has happened is they went into the second time for the pits. Mercedes decided that they wanted to use the medium tire because they thought that they could maybe force the Red Bulls to actually do the same thing. And then Red Bull decided to stick to their plan and do hard tires, hard compound. Max Verstappen was a little bit scared in the beginning. He asked the team over the radio if they're sure that the hard tires is the right call to make, and then the team confirmed that yes, according to their data, they've seen that the Ferraris are doing very well on the hard tires. And Hamilton now is very angry with his team because he cannot keep up with Max Verstappen, even though he has got the softer tire, which means he's got the medium tire, and Max Verstappen has got the hard tire. So they both pitted almost identically. First Lewis Hamilton went onto medium tires, then Max Verstappen went onto hard tires. And then ultimately now Hamilton is crying because he cannot keep up with Verstappen. I don't think it's because his car can't keep up. I think it's because he is the limiting factor. I think he is very fatigued. He sounds very tired, dude. He sounds like he's exhausted. Like he does not sound like he is full of energy at the moment. I can assure you that. Does not sound like he is in control of his own situation, his own physical fatigue at the moment. Unfortunately, he seems very fatigued. So ultimately, I think Verstappen will definitely win unless if something happens like mechanical failure, maybe tire puncture. Lewis Hamilton can't do anything, dude. And I think the big reason why he can't do anything is because of fatigue. I think Verstappen is younger. Verstappen can manage the fatigue better and go longer because he's just younger. and Hamilton has to deal with fatigue that he's probably not comfortable with, he's not used to, unfortunately, especially with being on a new track. So the last time they did Formula 1 race was in 1982 on this track. So 1982, that's many years, bro. That is almost 20 years. Almost 20 years. It's like closer to 19 years. 19 years that they haven't ridden on this track. So this is the first time in 19 years that they're going on this track. So he's now saying that he won't be able to make it till the end on the tires. I don't think he will be. Even if they put him now, I don't think that he would necessarily have enough speed to catch up and pass Max Verstappen like he did in Hungary, like he did in which race course did he do? Did he do it in Imola? There was a race where he did the same thing, where he just waited until the last lap and then they had fresher tires. Then Max Verstappen, they just passed him. Perez comes in, so basically Verstappen first, Hamilton second. So I believe they're putting Perez because I wanted to put on the fastest lap. Oh wait, he's too far behind. He probably can't do it. I believe he needs to be top 6 position to get fastest lap. Interesting. So Pierre Gasly came out behind Perez in front of Stroll. Stroll and Russell was trying to attack each other. I think Lewis Hamilton is hoping fastest lap for Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton gets fastest lap, but he can't keep up with Verstappen. He can't close the gap with Verstappen. I don't understand that, dude. Fastest lap. So it means that he's got the performance, the car has the performance, but he cannot physically hold on with that type of performance, that consistency. He cannot do it because of fatigue. I'm pretty sure of it, man. It has to be. So Verstappen's first, Hamilton second, Bottas third, Gasly fourth, Leclerc fifth, Carlos Sainz sixth, Alonso seventh, Ocon and eighth, ninth Norris, Lando Norris, 10th Ricciardo, 11th Perez. So Perez did pass Russell. So Perez is 11th, Russell is 12th, Stroll is 13th, Latifi is 14th, Giovinazzi is 15th, Kubica is 16th, Vettel 17th, 18th, Yuki Tsunoda. Mick Schumacher just went off the road. They're saying they have to think about Norris, but I don't see how Norris is going to beat Bottas or attempt to beat Bottas. Lewis Hamilton is now 2.9 seconds, so he's trying to crawl back. He's trying trying to bring back the gap. But like I said, it's because of consistency. He cannot manage his fatigue correctly. He cannot endure fatigue and catch up to. Why is he catching up so much? He's actually building a lot of speed against Verstappen, dude. What is going on? How is he increasing? I don't understand. It feels like they are literally doing some shenanigans. But it seems like his medium tires are good enough, dude. He's literally less than 2 seconds. He's now 1.7 seconds behind Max Verstappen. I don't understand. What is going on with Lewis? Like, something just doesn't add up. He keeps complaining, yet he's building up so much speed. He's making up so much. The gap is literally falling like it's nothing, and I'm not... Like, don't tell me Verstappen is taking it easy in front. Like, I just don't think so, man. .5 seconds. What is happening, dude? What is going on? He's almost half a second faster in one lap than Max Verstappen. How does that even make sense? Oh, dude, please don't tell me that Mercedes are using illegal upgrades to give Hamilton speed an unfair advantage. Why does he keep on saying, oh, it's too fast, and now he's like he's literally yelling, oh, it's too fast, but he's literally catching up. Like, I don't understand. These are mind games, dude. Dude, I don't understand why. Oh, now he's dropping behind again. Lewis Hamilton, I don't know. Lewis Hamilton's doing some weird stuff, dude. It is like they're using their qualification mechanism, the qualification electric power to give them speed, but because he can't do it consistently, he's still unable to actually, get past Verstappen convincingly, catch up to and pass Verstappen. I don't know, man. This is so suspicious, dude. He was 3 seconds behind. Now he's 1 point something seconds. Like, he's clearly capping, man. He's clearly pretending. This is so funny, dude. Oh, I think the reason why he was getting stoked, but he's still very close. I think the back markers are making it seem way worse than what it really is. But still, man, I just don't understand why Hamilton was 3 seconds and now he's 1.7 seconds behind. Like, I don't get it. No sense to me. If he has that pace, then you can literally challenge Verstappen, but it's It's so funny, it's so odd, it's so weird. Complains that his car is slow, but he literally is catching up to Verstappen, but then he can't actually catch up. I don't like, it's so weird, man. Let's just see what happens, because I've got no idea what's gonna happen, because it feels like Mercedes are doing some weird stuff behind the scenes. So Perez is enjoying himself. He just passed Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo was specifically asked by his team 2 laps ago not to let Perez pass. Perez passed Daniel Ricciardo on the outside of turn 1, which is pretty sad. Which either means the McLaren is really slow, or it means something else. It means that Ricciardo has no juice in the tank, maybe. Hamilton. Now he's back to 1.5, 1.6 seconds. It seems like it might be the fact that they have to lap back markers that is slowing Hamilton down. I just want to see what he's doing, man, because I don't get it. So all of a sudden now he's 2.4 seconds. Like, what? Did he make a mistake? Okay, so I have to wait for my video feed to catch up, but I think he made a mistake. I think he made a mistake. When Lewis Hamilton makes a mistake, it only means that he really cannot. He just cannot. Okay, now I'm having some technical issues here. Apart from my computer just crashing for no reason. Come on, show me where he made a mistake. I'm sure he made a mistake, dude. I'm sure he made a mistake. Come on, man, show me. I wonder what happened. Maybe the guy in front of him slowed him down. I don't know. So qualifying proves that Lewis Hamilton's car can keep up, but in race pace it seems like Lewis Hamilton is just not capable of maintaining that performance. I do believe it's Lewis Hamilton that's the problem. He is the limiting factor. I think his car can do better. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is doing the maximum. But I would like to see someone like George Russell use that car and see if George Russell can only manage the same time that Lewis Hamilton can do, then obviously it proves that Lewis Hamilton is pushing it to the max. But I'm pretty sure that George Russell can do more than that. It seems he just lost pace. He just stopped pushing. Okay, so he didn't make a mistake, he just stopped pushing. So Lewis Hamilton completely stopped pushing. 4 seconds behind, dude. 10 seconds, 10 laps remaining. Honestly, the only thing that can make Verstappen lose is if he makes a mistake or if there's a mechanical issue. That's the only two things. If Verstappen makes a mistake and he goes off the track, then that is why he will lose first place. Or if his car has a mechanical issue. That's the only two things that can stop him from winning this race. It's so funny how Lewis Hamilton in qualifying proved that he can do almost identical lap times, but during the race he can't. Max Verstappen literally had to pass Valtteri Bottas, which makes me wonder why Lewis Hamilton can't. It must mean that their downforce, their aerodynamics is much different. You know, Red Bull's aerodynamics is way different than Mercedes, and that's why Mercedes can't really stay behind that much. Can't stay close behind the car in front of them. I'm guessing, I might be wrong. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, these last 10 laps are gonna probably be the boringest of all of the races so far. Okay, actually the Belgium Grand Prix was the most boringest for obvious reasons. But it seems like the only thing that can make Verstappen lose is either he makes a mistake, or if his tire pops, or if there's a mechanical failure. And you have to understand, it is not that Lewis Hamilton's car isn't fast enough. He almost qualified identically the same time as Lewis Hamilton qualified almost the identical speed as Verstappen in qualifying. So there's no excuse, dude. And they did push the strategy, especially with putting on soft, like medium tires instead of hard tires. They thought that they could maybe do something, but they still couldn't. Okay, if Max Verstappen wins his Grand Prix, as soon as he crosses the line, I'm going to end my stream and jump on to For Honor, because I really enjoy that game, especially now today, especially during the weekend. I like to play it with so many people playing during the weekends. So I think this is done and dusted, dude. Max Verstappen takes the lead of the championship, Drivers' Championship. Perez is less than a second behind Lando Norris. So Perez is trying to get past Lando Norris. Let's see how much of a challenge Lando Norris will be compared to Ricciardo. So far he's keeping, like, so far it seems like Perez could have passed Lando Norris, but Lando Norris just keeps on closing the doors. Keeps telling Perez, no, you won't pass me. If Lando Norris stops Perez from passing him, then at least the old Lando Norris is back, because Lando Norris, since Lando Norris crashed in Belgium, I think he's lost a little bit of his confidence, dude. I really believe that Norris has lost a little bit of his confidence. Such a funny, so it's Red Bull first, Mercedes, Toro Rosso, Ferrari, Alpine, then McLaren, then Red Bull, then McLaren again, then Williams, then Aston Martin, then Alfa Romeo. It's like, this is a perfect indication of where the teams are. So it seems that Alpine from Alonso, it actually seems like Alonso might be able to catch up and pass Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz might actually get passed by Fernando Alonso. Dude, if Fernando Alonso passes a Ferrari, then that is it, dude. Ferrari is really hitting rock bottom, in my opinion. I don't care what you say, Fernando Alonso should not be passing Carlos Sainz in a Ferrari. He should not be doing that. It's either their strategy team of Ferrari or it's the car, one or the other, because Carlos Sainz is not a bad driver, so I highly doubt. So Perez, they're showing the battle between Perez and Lando Norris, but they're also showing Fernando Alonso. Dude, Fernando Alonso is about to pass Carlos Sainz. If Carlos Sainz gets passed by Fernando Alonso, then he should ask himself, why is he riding in a Ferrari? Like, I do understand driving a Ferrari makes you feel good in status symbol and his pedigree and all of that, but damn, man. Getting passed by Fernando Alonso in an Alpine is pretty ridiculous, pretty pathetic actually. I would actually be ashamed. If I was working a Ferrari, I would be ashamed. Okay, I think you made a little bit of a mistake there. Perez should pass Perez should pass Lando Norris, and Alonso should pass Carlos Sainz, because Carlos Sainz just, his car, that doesn't seem good enough, dude. Alonso is falling behind. Oh no, he's not. He's catching up again. He's catching up. Of course, the DRS is allowing him to catch up, but still, man. Did Max Verstappen make a mistake? Let's see. Max Verstappen, did you make a mistake, dude? Oh, you went a little bit wide. Oh, you just did a lockup. Oh, that's not that bad, man. Dude, like, they are literally, like, this British media, this British media company is trying so desperately hard to show some flaws in Max Verstappen that they literally have to show you Max Verstappen driving, like, just driving, and then, oh yeah, he locked up, but you can barely notice it. Damn, they're so desperate, huh, these British people. So incredibly desperate. So, Perez is it? I don't know if Perez went past Lando Norris. Let's see if he did. Oh, they touched. Sergio Perez and Lando Norris touched. Ooh, that's dangerous. That is so dangerous. Something could have happened, dude. Nah, I think Lando Norris shouldn't get a penalty. They are saying whether or not Lando Norris should get a penalty. Perez passed, so he's fine. But that was just hard racing, dude. Hard racing, good racing actually, very good racing. Very, very, very good racing. Come on, Alonso, pass that Ferrari. I want to see you make that Ferrari team feel pathetic, because damn, man. Who's boxing? They're putting Bottas. Oh, they're trying to get him to get a fastest. No, but why would they do that? Hamilton already has the fastest lap. So Perez is 2 seconds behind Ocon. Alonso is still looks like he's about to pass Carlos Sainz, and I don't know why he hasn't done it already, because he's literally showing that he wants to do it. So either you do it or you back off, but he's not backing off, so I don't know. So they pit stop Bottas, and I'm not sure why, because Hamilton still has the fastest lap, so I don't know. I don't understand why they pitted Bottas. I don't know. I have got no understanding of why they pitted Bottas. They still, like, Bottas was supposed to be on a 1-stop strategy, and they still put him through a 2-stop strategy. like this Mercedes, I don't understand, dude. I don't get what they were doing with Bottas. I don't get it. Bottas is just a second driver. They don't care about him when it comes to championship, actually. It's so weird, man. If Gasly was able to pass Bottas when he was pitting, that would have been poetic, to be honest. Poetic. Okay, so Perez can pass Ocon. Perez can pass Ocon, dude. Perez can pass Ocon if he really pushes hard. Come on, Alonso. Pass Carlos Sainz, man. Pass Carlos Sainz. Pass Carlos Sainz. Pass Carlos Sainz. Alonso, pass Carlos Sainz. Pass Carlos Sainz. Alonso, pass Carlos Sainz. Just pass him, man. He is not backing off, so he wants to pass Carlos Sainz, so do it. Perez is most likely going to pass Ocon before the end of the race. I just don't know about Fernando Alonso. Will Fernando Alonso pass Carlos Sainz? I've got no idea. Fastest lap for... Like, I don't understand. Hamilton had fastest lap. Lewis Hamilton needs to come into the pit because he needs the fastest lap point. This is such a joke. It's an extra point, and they want the extra point, so now they're pitting Hamilton. Just why did they even pit like, dude, just to prove how stupid they are right now. Oh man, this is so funny. Extra, let's do the extra point. Oh, Bottas go faster. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. We have to let Lewis Hamilton come into the pit so he can get a fast lap. The funniest thing would be if Verstappen pits, still gets the fastest lap and wins. That would be the funniest thing of all, man. But I think for him to win the race is way more important. So yeah, I agree with that, man. I agree with that. So so Perez passed Ocon. Perez passed Ocon. Perez is gonna pass Alonso. Perez might actually pass Alonso, dude. Perez might just pass Alonso. The fact that Alonso going to pass Sainz, that is just a driver. Carlos Sainz driving is still good enough for him to keep Alonso behind him, even though Alonso was faster. And capable, I believe. Dude, if Perez passes Alonso, if Perez passes Alonso, that's gonna be funny, man. Because instead of Alonso passing Carlos Sainz, now he's gonna get passed by Perez anyways. Okay, so Verstappen wins. Zandvoort. Verstappen wins 20 seconds behind him is Lewis Hamilton. Double Dutch the light, as they say. Dutch driver Max Verstappen wins at Zandvoort Dutch Grand Prix after 19 years of the Grand Prix not being on the Formula 1 calendar. So, Gasly, Bottas. So Hamilton's still gonna do fast. Hamilton couldn't do fast. So he does do the fastest lap on the... Okay. I thought for the second he won't be able to do the fastest lap. Why they even put it Bottas is such an insane thing, dude. So, Drivers' Championship, guess what? Sainz did not pass Alonso. That's odd. He was so close to passing. Okay, so very cool race, very interesting race. Okay, so that's the race, boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining this episode. See you in the next episode. Ciao for now. Max Verstappen leads the World Drivers' Championship. I believe Red Bull won't, because both Mercedes are on the front row. So Red Bull might not lead the championship in constructors, but they do lead the championship in Drivers' Championship, which is very cool. Thank you so much for joining this episode. This is the live stream signing off. Ciao for now.
Notification bell on.